So there's no getting away from it. If you've got a lawn or you haven't, we all love that great British striped lawn effect. And there's only ever been one machine for it, and that's a cylinder mower. ALLETT have been around for years, they're tried and tested, but there's a new kid on the block called COBRA, and they've got the Fortis, and it's £400 cheaper than that. Is it any good? Let's check them out.
Tested by Machinery Nation.
So COBRA has created a household name for itself in the UK over several years, but bringing out the COBRA Fortis means it's opened up the market for high-end domestic and sports turf facilities. But what can they do to already improve on a fantastic petrol version? Well, that's right, they fitted an Ego power plant, which has got peak power performance, but does it cut it? So when COBRA contacted us to do a comparison video, we thought, well, why not? We've done it with a petrol, and we did cause a little bit of a stir back then, but these ones are completely different. They're both 17-inch, they've both got battery, but the COBRA is feature rich and is £400 cheaper. But what do you get on the COBRA that you don't get on the ALLETT? And why is that cheaper than that? So there is some similarities. They are 17-inch, they both come with a smooth roller on the front, they're both 6-bladed, they both cut down to 6mm and up to 30mm, but the ALLETT does quote 32 on the highest cut. They're both battery powered, one is running Greenworks, one is running the Ego power plant, and they're both self-propelled. But that is where the similarities end. So on the new ALLETT Cambridge, it comes with a 4Ah lithium-ion Greenworks battery and Greenworks motor assembly. It's 410 watts, which will give you 30 to 40 minutes runtime. So on the new COBRA Fortis 17E, it runs two 5Ah lithium-ion Ego batteries using the Power Peak power system, which is equivalent to a 3.2 kilowatt motor, and it runs for up to 60 minutes. So generally, cylinder mowers are relatively heavy. Well, this one actually isn't. It's just over 40 odd kilos in weight. But the one downside to it is you can't drive the machine to your lawn without the blades going. So you've fundamentally got to have the blades going and then the drive on, so your blades are constantly spinning as you get to your lawn. Now on the COBRA, slightly different, it is a lot heavier. It's nearly twice the weight, but that's a good thing because hopefully that will give us decent stripes on our lawn. And the other thing is we can actually drive it to our lawn area without the blades going. Now with the COBRA, it is variable speed, so just remember to put it in slow speed before you take off. And it's as easy as that. And it's variable speed, so you can just adjust your drive speed on the go by twisting the knob. Now on the ALLETT, you've got 6 preset drive speeds. So there's a difference in cut rate per cylinder mower as well. So on the ALLETT Cambridge, you got 79 cuts per metre, and on the Fortis, you've got 95 cuts per metre. Change that up to a 10-bladed reel, you've got 131 cuts per metre on the ALLETT, and you've got 158 cuts on the Fortis. So the one huge advantage of the COBRA over the ALLETT is when you put their 10-bladed system in, it will cut down to 3mm. So that is ideal for sports turfs, especially like bowls greens and cricket clubs. So both the rear rollers are completely different. On the ALLETT Cambridge, you've got the smooth steel 2-section roller, and on the Fortis 17E, you've got the cast rib 2-section, which will give you better traction. So grass catchers, very similar in size. You've got a 62-litre net one on the ALLETT, probably a little bit light duty, and also there's a lot of air holes there, so if you're using it on sports turfs and you're cutting very fine grass, I would question if the fine grass is going to go through those mesh holes. And on the COBRA, you've got a 65-litre heavy duty tub. So COBRA boasts 4 different models in the range. They got a 14-inch, they got the 17-inch, which we've got here today, they got a 20 and 25-inch, so there's something for everyone within the range. Now obviously warranty is also another big factor. Both of them come with 2-year domestic warranty, but you only get 90 days commercial warranty on the ALLETT, whereas Ego and COBRA give you 12 months warranty professionally on the Fortis. So the COBRA comes with a range of different attachments as well, different cartridges you can fit into the machine. There's 6 in total, from brooms to sorrel rollers to multi-change to verti-cutters and a scarifier. So having all those cartridges means you've got one machine that will do a range of tasks to give you a beautiful lawn or sports turf finish. So one attachment that is an extra on the COBRA is the grass rake, and that is actually fitted as standard on the ALLETT. So both machines have a quick change cartridge system, even though ALLETT at the moment haven't got any cartridges available for this model, but they are coming soon. One thing ALLETT have got over COBRA, it is easier to change those cartridges. You've only got 2 screws on the ALLETT, whereas you've got 5 on the COBRA. But let's check out the heavy duty drive systems. So on the COBRA, you've got a heavy duty drive system. You've got thicker cables, you've got a final chain drive down there, you've got thicker belts and decent pulleys. Move over to the ALLETT, a little bit more domestic, you've got thinner cables, thinner belts and a plastic final drive gear. So like I said, the ALLETT is a little bit simpler to change the cartridges. You can actually leave the side cover on. You've got the 2 bolts, one there and one there you take out, and your cartridge will then just pull out. You've actually got to take the side cover off of the COBRA. You've then got 1 bolt here, 1 bolt there, and then you can take the bolt out the other side and slide the cartridge out. Only takes a couple of minutes, but it's just a little bit more complicated than the ALLETT. So not that we need to worry about it today, but the COBRA is IPX5 rated. So what better place to use these machines and give them a good test than at a private school with a cricket pitch. Now the groundsman's been kind enough to let me cut the cricket square, and I'm hoping I don't mess it up. So being the true groundsmen that we are, we set the cylinders to 16mm so we're not going to wreck the square. Right, let's go do some cutting. Right, so ALLETT first. Just take it nice and steady to start off with, get our nice straight line. Now being that it's only cut every couple of days, we are only taking a minute amount of grass off every time. So it's given a good finish. Go to my next row, I've got to have the blades going to get myself lined up because it won't drive separately. There we go, drop it down, and away we go. Just something nice about using the cylinder bar. With all that nice fine grass going into the grass box. I hope I'm doing it right. I haven't had the groundsman run out yet and beat me with a stick off his ground. And it's quiet. Being battery, it is so quiet, and that'll be the same with the COBRA as well. So being that we're on a school, we're not disturbing the pupils, they can get on with their work. What an awesome finish. The only one thing I have found with the ALLETT is I've got a little bit of a sticky button on the side. Now and then, as you're driving along, let your handles off, the button actually sticks in. Don't know if it's meant to do that, but that might be something that they need to think about in the future. Anyway, this machine's £400 more than the COBRA. That's done a fantastic job. Do you think a machine that's cheaper can keep up with it? So this is the finish of the ALLETT. This strip here, that's a cut wicket that the groundsman's already prepared, and then we come back up on this strip. So we're going to do exactly the same with the COBRA. It's the same height setting. We're going to go down 1 wicket and back up the next, and we're on its slowest speed. When you get to the end of your line, you can disengage your blades, come back round again, and start your blades up. Now, I've only done 2 cuts on each wicket, but already I can see there's a noticeable cut quality difference. It certainly gives a finer finish, and it's collecting more glass clippings. The other handy thing you have got on the COBRA is you've got the LCD screen. It tells you your battery percentage and how many hours you've actually worked the machine for. So if you told me that was £400 cheaper than the ALLETT, I'd say, no way, that's £400 more. That's got more features, it's certainly given a better cut, and I would have said has collected more grass as well. So that there, that's the upward wicket we've done. Again, that's where the groundsman's cut. That's the downward one we done with the COBRA. That is another cut wicket. That is the upward one we done with the ALLETT. That's another cut wicket by the groundsman, and that is the downward cut with the ALLETT. Now a minute ago you could have seen a little bit better, you can see it on this one, there's actually some striping going down through. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it certainly isn't given as good a cut as the Cobra. So just showing you the clippings that we got, really nice fine cut from the ALLETT and the Cobra. Certainly the Cobra's collected more, but I think the real biggie, and we did sort of say this earlier, is because it's a mesh bag, your clippings have got the potential of just falling out, especially if it's fine because of that mesh. Let's try and do some striping with it and see what the stripe effects are like. Certainly having that extra weight has given a slightly crisper finish. Right, so there's no getting away from it. Both machines done a fantastic job, give a really good cut and have given a good finish on the wicket. But having said that, that machine, and I can't stress it enough, is £400 cheaper than the ALLETT. This is more domestic, this is high-end domestic and commercial. It's a heavier build construction. You've got the rib roller, you've got the scraper bar, you've got the stand, and you've got the increased cut speed as well. So it gives a fantastic finish, and I can't rate it highly enough. So all in all, a heavier duty, well-made machine powered by 2 Ego batteries. What more could you want? And you can use those Ego batteries on the rest of the tools you may already have. And being it's a really cost-effective option for sports turfs and even high-end domestic, it means you can get into the market on a cylinder mower and not break the bank. So we're Machinery Nation. We bring you product videos every week all about tools and machinery. Please like our video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!